Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back Mr. Matsubayashi, Yoju. And Paul Baldwin is going to kindly help us with some translation. Now, a lot of this film was made inside the exclusion zone around the damaged nuclear reactor, which I'm sure is probably quite dangerous for you. What were you doing inside the exclusion zone? And how did you find these horses?
Uh, uh, I think I want to speak to in English, but my English is not good.
Painful.
Yeah,日本語で話します。津波が起きて2週間経った時に初め福島、岩手、宮城の東北3県の被災地の県に行ったんですけれども、福島だけが違うと思って、その次の日に東京に戻ってきた翌日にまた行きました。それが4月の2日です。この映像の中で、市議会議員というおばさんと一緒に馬を発見するカットがあるんですけども、それが4月の2日でした。でその時は、国によって原発から20キロ圏内っていうところが立ち入り禁止って言われてたんですけども、普通に入ることができたので、当時は誰も取材してなかったんですね。だからその中に入って取材をしてみようと思ったのと、支援物資を持っていったのがきっかけで福島のこと長く関わることになりました。
After the earthquake of March 11th of 2011, the focus was on the places that incurred serious damage by the tsunami, the prefectures of Aomori, Akita, and Miyagi. There was not as much focus at first on the Fukushima prefecture, but there was news on the damage of the nuclear reactors, and so there was a following the accident of the nuclear reactors, a 20-kilometer radius was considered out of bounds. On April the 2nd, this was just over 2 weeks after the actual earthquake, I decided I'd focus on this. And I had taken supplies to the area and met a woman there that had owned horses and was taking care of horses. And that's where the start was, where I wanted to focus on Fukushima in particular.
それで初めの時馬が立ってたんですけども、馬小屋の中でその馬たちを撮影して、すぐにテレビ局に売りに行ったんですね。で戻ってきた翌日に馬たちが死んでたと知って、馬たちに対してすごく申し訳ない気持ちになったのと、あと東京がやっぱりこの原子力発電所で発電する電力っていうのは東京で使ってて、福島では全然使ってなかったって、それを知った時にやっぱりすごくもう申し訳ないというか、そういう気持ちが映画を撮るきっかけに初めになったと思います。
A couple things. First, when I first went there and I saw the horses, I filmed the horses, took the footage and aired it on as a program on TV. Now, after I had aired it, I returned to the area, and the following day, to my great shock, I realized that I learned that the horses had starved to death. Now I felt that perhaps I could have done something about it, more than just filming, to save these horses, and because of this I felt great regret and was very apologetic to the horses and the people around the horses. Now, and the other thing was that I learned that the nuclear, the energy that was from Fukushima prefecture was mainly used in Tokyo and not in Fukushima itself. I felt that there was a great tragedy in that as well. That the Tokyo was using this, but the damage was in Fukushima itself. And for these reasons, I felt that I wanted to do something in return.
So, okay, and how did you find this stable of these horses?
この馬たちは先ほど映像に出てた一番初めの市議会議員の人たちにたまたま会って、その人の親戚のところに訪ねていったわけなんですね。で彼らっていうのはもう本当に 競走馬が終わった後に食用に回される馬っていうのを後から知った。だから初めから馬のことを知ってたわけではないんですね。だから私は馬のことを知りたいと思って避難所に移動するんです、馬が。そこから馬と一緒に3ヶ月間放射能のレベルが高いところで一緒に生活して、馬の動きとかどういう生き物なのか、雷が鳴ったらなんですかね、耳を動かしたり、そういうことに注目して撮影を始めたのが、その津波後2ヶ月の5月から2011年の5月から撮影を始めました。でこの馬たちも今福島じゃなくていろんなところに、福島に6頭は残ってて、あとの20頭は他の県に引き取られて、1頭を除いてはみんな元気にしています。1頭は別の理由で死にました。
Now, initially, when I went to this area, I had gone because I had contacted officials, and the relatives of officials lived in the area. That's what brought me to the area, and I learned about these horses only after I had gone there. I learned that race horses, for instance, they once their career as racing horses ended, then they would be used as meat, and there are things that I learned for the first time, and to my surprise, I learned a lot. And these horses in particular, these were evacuated to an evacuation area. Now, of the 26 horses, 20 were transferred to different areas. Well, one of the horses, as you saw in the film, had passed away, and only 6 horses in the end remained in the area.
Okay. You focus on one horse in particular. One horse, Mira's Quest, becomes your main subject, in fact, in this film. This may seem like a stupid question, but why this particular horse? I mean, there's one rather obvious reason, but anyway, please explain.
本当によく聞かれる質問なんですけども、やっぱ放射能っていうのは生殖機能にものすごく影響を与えられるというふうに言うので、それをなんか初めに腫れ上がった馬のペニスを見た時に、これはなんか原発から湧き上がるキノコ雲の形となんかそう近いなと、シェイプが似てるなと思ったんですね。それがきっかけでこういう形の偶話のような映画を作りたかったんですね。偶話性を持った映画を作りたかったので、それをメタファーにして映画にしようと思って作りました。
Now, one characteristic of nuclear energy and nuclear leakage is that it affects the organic structure of a living being, a living creature. Now, as in the particular case of this horse, of course, the swollen penis was, to me, it looked similar to the mushroom cloud, or the cloud that rose from the explosion of the nuclear reactor. I felt that these two were connected in very close way, that it was a metaphor in itself. And wanted to sort of form a fable, a story out of this.
Ladies and gentlemen, yes, please.
Thank you so much for your film. So what I want to know is, after the disaster, after everything that the horses have been through, I know culture and tradition is very important to Japan's taken very seriously. Why would people put the horses through, the whole traditional thing that they did every year?
The festival. Yeah. Oh, sorry. The lady was sorry. I should have repeated. The lady was asking about was it not a little unfair on the horses to put them through the traditional festival after all that they'd been through?
I'm sorry, I don't know the question and the reason, but 日本政府は日本の人たちって祭りを伝統的に使うっていうことに対して悪気はないんですよね。でこれをなんかいいとか悪いっていうふうに言うんじゃなくて、 いや僕はなんでやるんだろうっていう気持ちで作ったんです。ですがこの国っていうのはその判断の基準っていうのがどうなってるのかなっていうのを問いかけたいために作ったので、明確な答えはないんですけども、僕はこの祭りはあんまりそんなにまあ続ける意味はあるとしても、そんなに犠牲にしてまでは続けなくてもいいのかなと思いました。
The simple answer to that is that I really don't have an answer for that. Now, actually, the Japanese government, for one, the Japanese culture is very strong, and that there is a great importance placed on this, and that the people the people and the government as a whole were not thinking of, did not mean harm on the horses. Actually, as a result, it may have harmed the horses, but they did not mean bad to the horses. Now, one of the reasons I wanted to make this film was to ask that question itself. That's a very good question, and I myself feel that yes, it's very important to have festivals like these, but at such a sacrifice, that's a question that I myself has, and a question that I felt to bring out to everybody.
I can't see, but yeah.
I was wondering
Yeah.
what's happening to the horses now. Are they?
彼らは全員なんかすごくちゃんと保護されて生きています。で6頭の馬だけが福島の元の飼い主のところにいるんですが、まあ、放射線のレベルはそこは高くはない。でも決して推薦して住んでもいいっていう場所ではないんですけども、そこに今6頭は残って生活して、あとはみんなちゃんと動いてます、生きています。
Fortunately, as far as I understand, all horses are very well treated right now. They're living under very favorable conditions. The six horses that stayed behind this, and the horses that remain in Fukushima, they are still in areas of high radioactivity. Although the radioactive levels have decreased considerably since. Having said that, that doesn't mean it's completely safe, but they're under controlled circumstances.
At the beginning of the film, it was mentioned that maybe you weren't allowed to take pictures or interviews. Did you have any problems with that, or as a result of that after the film?
特にそのことによって問題があったというわけではなくて、撮影を、させないって言われても、私は馬の馬主さんとの関係の方が強いので、国がいくらダメだって言っても彼は個人の馬なので、馬小屋で手伝ってる間に手伝ってる人間が世話をする、その様子を撮影するという、別に許可を取って撮影する類ではなかったので、こっそり撮影してました。であまりなんていうんですかね、表立ってこれを堂々と撮りましたっていうふうにもあまり言えないんですけれども、国としては僕のような人間が撮影するっていうのは正式に許可を求めれば拒否されていることなんですね。だけどその裏の方法で撮影しているので、まあどうにか撮影ができたということだと思います。
No, it is a fact that it was very controlled, and that filming was almost prohibited. It was very frowned upon by the government. Now, what I wanted to show in the film, what I was filming, was my relation with the horse owners in particular, and no matter what the government told me, I was determined to take this film regardless. So I did not. Thank you. And I did not particularly run into any real problems with the government. Now the government they have regulations of their own. Now if I were, or anybody were to go to the government and say that I'm going to film this, I'm going to make a movie of this, then it probably would not be approved. But as far as myself going on and filming on my own, the government, I'm sure, looked the other way, even if they had noticed.
I don't mean to snatch this away from you, but can I just ask one thing more myself? the film, in a way, the style of the film, or the way you photograph the film specifically, kind of dramatizes your own changing relationship to the horses, it seems to me. Because the feeling I get anyway is that at the beginning you keep some distance from the horses, as if you're a little bit scared of them, you're not quite sure what's going to happen, what they're going to do. And as it goes along and you get to know, and the horse gets to know you and you get to know the horse, it's somehow reflected in the camera work. It feels more intimate, more lyrical in the later parts of the film. Do you feel that too?
いやいや、of course。もちろんそう思いました。その撮影中に馬との関係が分かんなかったから、まあ、一緒にその暮らしをして馬の性格を見て撮影していったんですけれども、馬に自分を認められるまで上手いカメラマンとかには成長するのは難しいんですけど、馬に私を認識してもらえるまではできるだけ接してやっていったので、それが多分この映画の中ではまあうまくいってる部分っていうふうに言ってくれたのはそういうところだと思います。関係を作ることをすごく大切にしました。カメラを回していない時間での。
Yes, of course. That's very true and a very big part of this film, actually. Now, at first, I was there was distance between myself and the horse. I was horses were new to me. I had to learn everything about the horse, about the characteristics of the horse, and so the horse was more an object than anything else to start with. And as I got closer to the horse, I developed a relationship, and I think developing a relationship was the first key to be able to film horses more naturally. Became more friends with the horse per se. And I feel this happened naturally over the course of getting to know the horses and getting closer to the horses. And as Tony had said, this was one of the reflective, a positive part of the film. I feel that this I agree with that comment and feel that it is a big part of the film.
Okay. Not too much time left, and it's quite late. But if you any other questions you'd like to bring up, I think there's a hand at the back. Am I right? Oh, maybe I'm not right. Sorry. We have bright lights in our eyes. Oh, please, go for it. Yes? No? Yes? Yes? Yes?
I was just wondering whether there were any specific horses you developed a relationship with, such as Mare's Quest or.
The question, just for the people at the back, other than Mirror's Quest, were there other horses you developed a closeness with?
映画の中で馬が部屋の中を掃除して、その後にゴロンゴロンっていう砂浴びっていうんですかね、動きをする馬がいるんですけども、彼とはすごく仲良くなったんですけど、彼もすごく名門のところの馬で、ドバイでおじいさんの代は優勝したすごい名門の馬なんですけど、彼は勝てなくても肉馬になってしまう馬だったんです。それとは仲良くなりました。まあいろいろとあったと思います。
Now, one particular horse that I must mention that comes to mind is you saw in the film a male horse that that was rolling about in the hay, and that horse I got really friendly with the horse that seemed friendly. Now that particular horse that was it was a prize horse. It had not, unfortunately, not won races, but its grandfather, its father's father had won, was a big winner in Dubai, and so this horse had been the focus of perhaps the future of winning. Unfortunately, it was not successful, and it became sold for meat later on. But yes, I became very close to this particular horse. But not only this horse, I had relationships with many of the horses.
Quick one to finish. Anybody? Yeah, please.
Like the horses, what happened to the people of Fukushima afterwards? Did a small population actually come back to live, or what was the
Okay, the lady is asking about the people of Fukushima. They were evacuated. Have any of them come back to their homes like the horses? And actually, I happen to know what he's been filming recently. and it's related to this question, so maybe he can say something about that as well.
Okay. 今私この馬の映画と同時に一つの映画を作ってて、それは作ったんですけれど、それは2011年の4月まで取り残されてた、福島に取り残されてる人たちを描いたドキュメンタリーを公開しています。でもう一つのやつを今ブラジルの方に行って準備してるんですけども、原発ができる前っていうのは土地はものすごく貧しい土地なんですね。だから出稼ぎに行ったり、海外に移住したりで、そのうちの一人の女性の中で58年前に福島からブラジルのアマゾンに移住したおばあさんが今度58年ぶりに日本に一時帰国しようというところを今撮影しようとしています。
It's a good question. Now, one thing, when I was filming this, I had also filmed another. There were two films that were filmed at the same time. This one about with the focus on the horses. The other one was a whole focus on the people who lived in the area. Now, how the people were affected. The people living up till April, the month following the earthquake. What happened to the people, and the surroundings of these people. It was a focus more on how people lived, and more it included the history of the Fukushima area leading up to when the nuclear reactors were built. Now another film that I'm filming right now deals with a woman that had moved to Brazil 58 years ago, and is returning to Japan 58 years after leaving. Now this, of course, was way back before the nuclear reactors, when this area was a very poor area in Japan, and how the changes and how this relates, how the accident as well as the disaster, the catastrophe, all this relates to the changes that she will see when she returns to Japan. These are two topics or two films with very strong topics on the Fukushima area.
I think we have to stop the formal process here because we have to let the cinema close down for the night. But thank you very much for coming and staying so late. Thank you very much to Paul for translating. And of course, most of all, thanks to Matsubayashi-san for bringing his film to Vancouver. Thank you.
Thank you.
Arigato.